you of course you're no stranger to Reach Records. You're no stranger to Christian hip hop and urban music. Even though you are the new kid as Reach Records' newest signee, how's it been transitioning for you as a producer into this new world of just being the artist?
Man, so being a producer, you get to always be inside the studio. You're always behind the scenes. You don't really get to see what happens, the impact with the music.
Yeah.
So transitioning into an artist right now, right off the boat, I got to do my first tour ever with Andy Mineo.
Yeah.
And that was like a shocker to me to see what the fan base is like with the 116 movement, and just hearing like my tracks that I got to produce for him, how people react to it. So it's crazy. It's a crazy emotion just getting out of the studio, performing, talking to fans, them telling me their life, and just being like, man, your music has encouraged me and impacted me. Well, I'm like, what? It's really, so far it's been really fun, and I'm very, very excited about my album that I've been working on, and just new music for this summer that I'm going to be dropping really soon.
Was this your first time like just performing in front of people, this your own music?
No, when I first started, I was young, I had a Christian hip hop group.
All right.
Rap. It was not good at all. It was not good. But, yeah, I've always been on stages. I started off with a group called Rema Soul, where I was producing a lot of things for them. But once in a while, I get to go on stage with them and do some tracks. So, stage has been something I've always, got to be on.
Give us, for people just getting to know you, give us kind of your background as a producer and really that whole progression, how you got to where you are today. You talked about Rema Soul. Really, how'd you get into this? How'd you go from being in a group that you thought wasn't very good, hip hop group, to being the go-to producer for in the CHH world, and now being an artist?
My dad was a pastor, and just stories since I was a baby. My mother would say I would go up in the middle of service and just grab the sticks of a drum and try to play in the middle of service. Like, I used to play the piano for the church too. So music has always been in my life. My sister sings, my mother sings, my dad played the trumpet. I ended up playing the trumpet when I was in middle school. Yeah. So I've always loved music, and then 9th grade I found out that you could produce music as far as making beats. So I dived into that really quick, and I loved it. I fell in love with it, and I was just making beats every single day, trying to figure out new techniques, and just had a passion for it. And then one day I found out at a youth group service, that's where I met Rema Soul. They kind of took me in and started telling me that I could start making money off of this and make it my career. And I was like, wow, this could be a career? What? Like, this doesn't make sense. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like, I just love music. So I remember being like in 10th grade and selling my first beat for like $50, and
wow.
It was a journey that started where I was like, okay, I'm so passionate about this. I'm gonna talk to my mom and say, Mom, I know what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. It's music production. And of course,
what did she say to that?
She thought it was craziness. Both of my parents are not from this country, so my mother's from Dominican Republic and my dad's from El Salvador.
Okay.
And having Latin roots, usually parents are very like, you need to go to college, you need to be a doctor, a lawyer. So the fact of even a thought of being a music producer was like, our son has become a heathen. What is going on? He's walking away from the Lord. Just kidding.
And what do they think? What do they think now?
Oh, now they're super proud. My dad kind of gets it. He's proud as well.
Yeah.
I could win a Grammy, and my dad would be like, "Oh, that's nice. Are we feeding your family though? Or are we making money?"
Yeah.
So,
sounds like they're grounded.
How long now have you been with Reach Records? I mean, in some capacity, as a producer.
Yeah.
Or whatnot.
I built a relationship with Reach Records when I was 16 or 17. I was just a young kid trying to give out my CDs to Lecrae of beats. So I would go to his concerts, and by the third concert, Lecrae actually, recognized the name on my CD that I handed to him, and he's like, "Man, I've been trying to get in contact with you. You never leave your contact information on these CDs." And I was like, I'm an idiot. Just a young kid. So by that third show, we connected. He flew me out to Memphis, where they were located at that time. And from there, I stayed with them probably for maybe a whole summer, I would say. Me and Trip, we shared a room. And from there, I started working on Tripley's 2020 album. I was working on Lecrae's Rebel album, Tadashi, Identity Crisis. This is all within a year, just producing songs for them. And that was like a major year for Reach Records and me at the same time. So
it's quite the leap.
So that started off the relationship. And then ever since then, I'm so grateful that I've been able to just continue producing for the guys and building a relationship with the new guys that jumped on, like Andy Mineo when he jumped on, KB. So yeah, it's since like 16, 17.
I said, look at you.